say we're fortunate enough we've got a monitor in front of us, and it's a penalty. Azpilicueta gets to the ball, it's tried to be cleared, and he gets a whack straight on the shin.
So why has Martin Atkinson not gone to the VAR, or why hasn't the VAR told him to look at it?
I have no idea. It's a penalty incident.
Andre Mariner is the VAR in Stockley Park. You think it's a clear penalty? Do you think it's a clear and obvious error from the referee?
Oh, absolutely. The defenders tried to clear the ball. Azpilicueta's got there first, and he's just kicked his shin.
Well, I'm sure that will be another discussion point for VAR over the course of the next few days on TalkSport. Here is Emerson down the left-hand side, up towards Mason Mount, who flicks it on, looking for the run of Barkley. Of course, if Chelsea don't win this game, that's something that Frank Lampard might bring up. There looked as if there was contact between Azpilicueta and the defender. And he was in a shooting position. If he'd got away from the defender, he was free on goal.
He was taking the touch and then taking a left foot shot, without a doubt.
Well, certainly Martin Atkinson believed he saw the incident, didn't think it was a penalty, and the VAR, Andre Mariner, said that it was not a clear and obvious error.
Yeah.
Here is Barkley over on the far side, wanting a free kick, but giving away a free kick because he went to ground and handballed it. And the game has just lost its pace a little bit. Norwich have ended up sitting deep inside their own half. Chelsea have applied the pressure. There's been a few punctuations in play. And the ball is still deep inside Norwich territory. And we can have another look at the incident right on the edge of the penalty area. And is it Leitner, whose left-footed attempt at a clearance seems to strike Azpilicueta? He doesn't really know much about it, does he? He doesn't know that Azpilicueta is behind him. He attempts to swipe the ball and ends up kicking his shin. Here is Cantwell inside the Chelsea half of the field. Back out to Aaron's right side. He then takes it back to the halfway line. You're listening to Norwich 2, Chelsea 2 on TalkSport with Nissan Commercial Vehicles, built to deliver. Chelsea don't usually drop points away from home against newly promoted teams, but in the last couple of seasons they've lost to the champions of the Championship. Here is Lewis crossing the ball deep towards the far post. Aaron's back into the centre. Cantwell can't get on the end of it. Kovacic under pressure brings it clear. Buendia was closest to him. Chelsea deal with that situation. Take it wide towards the left. Barkley, who's taking too many touches on the ball, is dispossessed. And now Norwich have it again. Buendia trying to take on Mason Mount. And Chelsea just having to suck in a little bit of air. And the ball goes out of play and level with the edge of the penalty area. This might be a sensible tactic from Daniel Farke, who has just taken the sting out of the game and tried to soak up a bit of Chelsea pressure, and now might have the energy with his team, if they make a couple of substitutions as well, to go and press Chelsea again.
Well, as much as we would have loved the second half to have continued the way the first did, it was never going to. It couldn't. You know, one of the managers had to change something, and Norwich have gone a little bit deep. And you're right, maybe that was in his thinking. Can we soak some pressure up?
He would have watched those games against Leicester and Manchester United and known that Chelsea actually run out of a bit of steam as the game goes on.
Yeah, and also it was one of Norwich's huge strengths. 60 minutes onwards, they were absolutely fantastic in the Championship.
Well, you look at the goals they scored in the 90th minute or later last season. Here come Chelsea, though, down the left-hand side, trying to move towards the edge of the box. It's now with Barkley. Barkley trying to shot from distance. It's straight at Tim Krul. They'll need to get a little bit closer than that to beat this goalkeeper, a man who picked up a terrible injury at Newcastle United, was in a very dark place, went to Brighton, rebuilt his career without even really playing a game, had a chance to come here to Norwich, and says it has been a fairy tale ever since. Many people thought that when Ralph Fairman was signed from Schalke, he would come in as the number one, but Krul has very much kept his place. He's a big influence in the dressing room, and he's a good goalkeeper.
Oh, he is. Before his injury, obviously, everyone was talking about what a wonderful player he was and his heroics in the penalty shootout for Holland. But injuries can be so cruel.
There's been another wicket in the cricket, and the Australians want to get it done and dusted nice and early, John Norman.
So do I. 15 for 2, both openers gone. Roy has been dismissed. Brilliant delivery from Cummins, beating the batsman for pace. Off stump, rooted, as are England. England 15 for 2.
2-2 the score here back at Carrow Road in the Premier League. Sheffield United, Leicester to come on TalkSport 2, and Liverpool against Arsenal with Clive Tilsley and with Big Sam Allardyce tonight from 5:30 only on TalkSport. Here is Emerson down the left-hand side, looking for the run of Mason Mount, who tries to go in behind the defender, but the ball's too heavy and it bounces through the penalty area and into the path of Tim Krul. And even if that ball had come off, Grant Hanley would have been across, because Norwich, as we've mentioned on a couple of occasions, just sitting a little bit deeper, watching those runs when Chelsea tried to put those triangles together on the edge of the box.
I'm amazed Frank Lampard hasn't made a change yet. Honestly, I'm amazed. It's a sweltering hot day. The players, especially the forward players, just look like they've lost that little sap of energy and that spark they had in that first half. I think it's a perfect time to make a couple of attacking changes if I was Frank Lampard, because your team's on top, plenty of possession, but just lacking that cutting edge.
It'll be interesting to see who made the step up to the Chelsea bench actually when Pedro dropped out. Here is Buendia down to the left hand side. Pukki with an effort straight at the goalkeeper, and it's juggled by Ari the Balaga, but eventually manages to finger it to safety, and Chelsea bring it out very quickly. Up through Barkley onto Kovacic. Kovacic now moving through the centre onto Abraham. Good take by him. He's got support to his left, but Abraham goes for goal himself and scores. What a brilliant finish from Tammy Abraham. Excellent play from Chelsea right through the middle of the pitch, and Tammy Abraham scores twice at Carrow Road. He hadn't scored for Chelsea before, but he scored on 2 occasions this afternoon at Carrow Road, the second of which was an absolute peach. Brilliantly worked up through the centre circle, played into Abraham, who went one way then the other past the defender and then shot beyond the goalkeeper, and Tammy Abraham has his first ever goal from outside the penalty area. It's Norwich City 2, Chelsea 3.
And that is what confidence does to any striker. He looked calm, didn't he? He didn't rush things. I actually thought he could have took the shot after his first touch, but he didn't. He shuffled it past Godfrey, and then he's just gone back the other way. You're looking as if he's going to curl it to that far post. He then pulls it, he drags it back the other way past Tim Krul. Another striker's finish out of nothing almost. Just a ball up to him. Fantastic from the young striker.
It's a brilliant goal for Chelsea and an excellent finish from Tammy Abraham, who may well have said that the curse of the Chelsea number 9 is nonsense and that he would deal with it anyway. But there was certainly not as much confidence after he missed that penalty against Liverpool. Not much confidence amongst those observers possibly, but it never dented his. He was always keen to take on the challenge, and it is a challenge that this afternoon at Norwich that he has met. 2 goals today, and Chelsea lead again by 3 goals to 2. Here he is now inside the area on a hat-trick, trying to get the ball from Athpilikueta, and it's cleared away. Out towards the near side, down by the corner flag. Picked up Campbell, trying to wrestle with Athpilikueta, and it goes behind and away for a goal kick. Well, that will silence 1 or 2 of the doubters.
I will, absolutely. It was a superb touch and then calmness and finish, but I can't help but say the defending was so poor. I mean, the ball's been played into him. There's still the 2 centre-backs and a full-back that are back there. They've allowed him to take a touch, take another touch, and get his shot away easily.
Here comes Norwich once again, running down the left-hand side. Leitner's been able to travel 30 yards towards the edge of the penalty area. He's broken away, picked the ball up on the edge of the penalty box now and tries to turn it back in field. He had far too much room there, Leitner. He was allowed to do too much with it, and now Chelsea are in danger of giving the ball away again. Triball's held on to it. Not enough of a challenge going in from Abraham and from Kovacic. The ball has broken to halfway, and Norwich are coming back again. Chelsea leading by 3 goals to 2. Brighton against Southampton is a 3 o'clock kickoff on TalkSport. We will take you around all of the grounds, and we'll definitely keep you in touch with that one. Here is Godfrey, who's going through the entire Chelsea defence down the left-hand side, motoring into the penalty area and playing the ball against Andreas Christensen, and out for the first Norwich corner. Che Adams Danny Ings and Nathan Redmond all start for the Saints, who have let in 5 goals in 2 games. Brighton, who have scored 4 and conceded 1, start with Trossard and Neil Bopai in attack. Manchester United and Crystal Palace. United are unchanged from the draw with Wolves. Palace looking for their first goal of the season at Old Trafford. Ayew starts up front. Ball in towards the far post. It's headed on by Godfrey. He hits the top of the crossbar from the corner kick on this right-hand side. Buendia's delivery was deep. Godfrey got up there and he hit the top of the crossbar.
It was a great leap, wasn't it? Got up early, got his arm, his elbow on top of, I think it's Christiansen's shoulder. Powered the header off the crossbar, and it was him actually who made that fantastic Mirandering run down the left-hand side to win the corner anyway. So unlucky, clipping off the top of the bar.
Great chance for Norwich City. Elsewhere, Gary Cahill actually starts that game for Crystal Palace. Sheffield United Leicester is on TalkSport 2. Leicester keep faith with Iosi Perez. Dennis Pratt starts. Chris Basham and Jack O'Connell featured in the pages of Correa della Sport this week. They also feature on the Sheffield United team sheet. And Sebastian Haller returns for West Ham United. Yarmolenko starts that game for West Ham as there's more changes for Manuel Pellegrini's team away at Watford. In the absence of Troy Deeney, Andre Gray starts up front. Tom Cleverley starts. Record signing Ismaili Sarr is on the bench for the first time. We'll go round our grounds at around about 2:30 here on TalkSport as Adrian Durham brings you game day around the grounds, as always, here on TalkSport. Here at Carrow Road, it's Norwich City 2, Chelsea 3, and we've played 73 minutes on the clock here, and Frank Lampard is now just 16 and a half minutes away from his first win.
And it would be huge. It would be absolutely massive, I think, not only for Chelsea but for him personally as well, to get that monkey off his back. But still a lot of football to be played, and I expect this to be a rip-roaring end to the game.
Cantwell deep inside the Chelsea, being watched by Kovacic. Pulisic puts in a tackle. Still no Chelsea change. Olivier Giroud, though, is about to come on. And I wonder if that means that Tammy Abraham's work for the day is done. 2 goals.
Surely not. Player on a hat-trick.
No.
Worst thing a manager can do.
Well, he stripped him ready for that action. Either that or Olivier Giroud's just showing off his physique for the cameras. It's mightily impressive. What are you laughing for, Reshman? Here is the free kick. Buendia sends it in towards the near post. It's poked away by Mason Mount, and it's up over the halfway line where it's picked up by Hanley, and out to the left, and Buendia brings it down inside the full-back. Little cross through the 6-yard box, and then it's picked up by Emerson and taken away towards the far side, up towards the halfway line. I must admit, I've met Olivier Giroud on a couple of occasions, and he is a fantastically good-looking man, and he's so very well groomed.
Oh, he is, absolutely. I mean, not sure about the side profile, but from the front...
Oh, you're not? Okay. Here is the change. Tammy Abraham is on, and Olivier Giroud. Tammy Abraham is off, and Olivier Giroud is on. And Tammy Abraham coming off to a standing ovation over on the far side. I'll give you the latest odds from the Betfair Exchange, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage, with Chelsea leading by 3-2. Back Norwich at 50. Chelsea at 1.23, back the draw at 6.2. That's all thanks to the Betfair Exchange. More ways to bet, more ways to win. 18 plus, please gamble aware. Did you cash out for me at half time? Did you? You didn't. I was supposed to do it. Ridiculous. So I've lost money again. Well, you never know. Still 15 minutes to go. You're listening to TalkSport. Norwich 2, Chelsea 3. I do feel as if no one's got my back with this betting lark. Desperate for me to fail. The ball is out of play over on the far side. You're listening to TalkSport. Here is Barkley. Outside of the right foot, he curls the ball into the path of Afbili Kuwaita. He's short of the centre circle. 3-2 Chelsea lead. 2 goals from Tammy Abraham have put Chelsea within touching distance of a first victory, but they've been in front on 3 occasions today. This time they've got to try and maintain it, Dean Ashton.
Yes, they have. They haven't really been a threat, though, have they, Norwich, this half? They've been so deep, they haven't really been able to get out. Stiepermann's not really been into the game. He's looked lethargic. And the 2 wide players, Cantwell and Buendia, have had to do so much defending that then they're too far away from Pookie to link up.
Well, I will remind you of that statistic that last year Norwich scored 8 goals in the 90th minute or later last season. Campbell thinks he was fouled. Referee says he wasn't, and play on is the call. Giroud gets it on the halfway line. Touched out towards the left-hand side. It's picked up by Emerson. Emerson back to Zuma. Chelsea content to hold on to the ball inside their own territory as time ticks away on TalkSport.
I mean, in terms of last season, the amount of times he changed it, and he had Jordan Rhodes that he used to regularly bring on late and go with 2 up front, so that might be something that he'll look at.
Here's Pulisic combining with Kovacic down the right. He sprints into the Norwich penalty area, pulls it back to the late arrival. It's left for Barkley on the edge of the box. Decent touch, right-footed shot, rifled into the body of Godfrey and spirals away. And Barkley knows that could have been the clincher.
Too many touches. It's been labelled of him often when he was at Everton as well. Too many touches. All this needed, 1 touch shot. Took too long. He could have hit it first time, to be honest. Take 2, 3 touches, and then the defenders can get set and at least get their bodies in the way.
Well, Mason Mount with a very intelligent piece of play, stepping over that ball to allow it to run to Ross Barkley. He really should have buried it.
He's been outstanding, Mason Mount. He really has.
Here is Kovacic with the ball played back from the corner, looped in underneath Tim Krul, who's dropped it. Kurt Zuma is there to tap it home. Is that a goal for Chelsea? Well, there's no flag. The referee has now paused play. Now, is that going to be ruled out or not? The Chelsea fans haven't celebrated. Kurt Zuma doesn't know what the issue is. The referee is taking advice from the VAR here. The ball has been placed down on the edge of the 6-yard box. Now, they're checking for a potential foul in the build-up to the goal. Certainly had 2 hands on the ball there, Tim Krul, and Giroud seemed to slam his body into it. And then the ball spilt out of Tim Krul's hands into the path of Zuma, who tapped into an empty net. But the referee is now waiting for the VAR review. There is no instruction on the screen here at the Carrow Road Stadium. They do have a big screen, but they aren't using it. The referee has checked the VAR, and the VAR has decided no goal, free kick.
Well, I mean, you can't do this anymore. You used to be able to challenge with the goalkeeper, and actually, because Tim Krul has got 2 hands on it, and then he's been bumped by Giroud and let the ball go, that's why it shouldn't be a goal. But you're just not allowed. You're not allowed to challenge goalkeepers anymore.
Well, the rule is that the goalkeeper's got it under control,
which I think he did.
He only has to have 1 hand on it if he's got it under control.
Yeah.
If that is the viewpoint of the referee, then the goal was rightly disallowed. I must admit, I wasn't surprised that it was chalked off. Were you?
No, not at all.
And McLean Vrancic, and there's another substitution taking place as well down there on the touchline. And I think it might be Shberny as well who's coming on. So a triple substitution for Daniel Farker. He's desperate to try and get these players on. The referee has not allowed him to do so. Farker's still got his hands in the air, shouting and screaming at Martin Atkinson, who's saying play on here. Lewis has the ball on the halfway line. He's dispossessed by Kovacic. Chelsea break away now, and they've got support here. Good footwork by Kovacic, who's come infield beyond Tribal, running towards the edge of the area. Space for Pulisic inside the area. Across the face of goal it goes. Cut out by Hanley, almost an own goal. He's already got one of those this season, and it's built away by Krul and kicked out on this near side by the retreating Jamal Lewis. Now they can make those changes.
Cool, they would have kicked off, wouldn't they? Chelsea would have gone. through and scored when they were desperate to make the substitutions.
But they are chasing the game. 3-2 the score in Chelsea's favour. Mount approaching the edge of the penalty area, plays it into Barkley. Barkley tries to steer it back out to the left, and Emerson back to Barkley again on the edge of the penalty area. The ball is with Mason Mount trying to turn around the corner. Cantwell very close to him, and it comes out towards the near side, and Chelsea managed to defend that well. Taking it out the sky is Christensen, and Chelsea look to try and build again. They've taken the lead 3 times in the game. Twice they've been pegged back. Is there going to be a third equaliser on the afternoon for Norwich City, or are Chelsea going to register all 3 points? And they have looked a little bit light defensively, especially in that first half. It will get a boost soon enough. Antonio Rudiger return is coming soon after the international break. Here's Aarons down the left-hand side onto Vrancic inside the area. Vrancic combining with Aarons again. Oh, he just missed his pass back from Vrancic. And then there was a little bit of pressure on Kenny McLean from Olivier Giroud. Pressure which, according to Martin Atkinson, was illegal, and it goes out on this. It's going to be a free kick on this near side to Norwich City, who are desperate to try and fight their way back into the game.
I think actually they've changed systems, because Max Aarons has come over to this left-hand side. Cantwell has gone over to the